So my presentation today is not so journalism centric, but it will be fun. It's basically the story of how an emoji becomes an emoji and also how I became an emoji activist. So this all starts with the story of dumplings, or in your world, empanadas. I was texting with my friend Ying Lu, who's a famous designer. She did the Twitter fail whale a long time ago. And so we were talking about dumplings, and she was really excited, and she's like, yay, knife and fork, knife and fork, knife and fork. And then she's like, wait, Apple doesn't have a dumpling emoji. And I was like, oh, that's funny, that's a good point. And then there's silence for half an hour, and then boing, like half an hour later, she sends me a dumpling emoji, or in your world, an empanada emoji. And I was like, oh, did you make that? And she's like, yeah. And so this got me thinking. I was like, how could there not be a dumpling emoji? After all, emojis are from Japan, and they're all kinds of weird Japanese food. There's ramen, and there's bento boxes, and there's curry rice, and there's tempura. And then there are even really strange Japanese foods, like things on sticks, dango. There's this like white and pink swirly fish cake. And there's even this triangle rice ball that looks like it's had a bikini wax. And I mean, if you just think about it, dumplings are universal, right? There's like pierogi in Poland, and there's ravioli in Italy, and there's empanadas in Latin America, and then there's khinkali in Georgia. So to me, dumplings are universal, emoji are universal. So the fact there was no dumpling emoji told me whatever system in place was broken. So I wanted to figure out, like, well, where do emojis come from? So who controls emoji? And luckily there was Google, so I was Googling, like, where do emoji come from? And I was actually at that point not a big emoji user. So I discovered that emoji are actually regulated by an organization called Unicode, which is based in Mountain View, California. And it has 12 full voting members, or 11 at that time. They are Oracle, IBM, Microsoft, Adobe, Google, Apple, Facebook, and Yahoo. And stay here? Stay here for the marks. Okay, so these are the large US multinational tech companies. Of the ones that are not US multinational tech companies, you have a German software company called SAP. You have a Chinese company called Huawei, and then you have the government of Oman from the Middle East. So these 11 members paid $18,000 a year to vote on your emoji. So that is how much membership to have a full vote in Unicode costs. But there's a loophole, which is basically you can pay $75 and just be a non-voting member. So that's what I did. I signed up on the website for $75, and then they had this, and you get to join the mailing list. So on the mailing list, they announced that they were having a quarterly meeting in Apple. And I looked at my calendar, I was gonna be in the Bay Area, and I was like, aha. So I basically kind of took the Caltrain to the Apple headquarters to join in on the Unicode emoji meeting. And this is what I discovered. So these are the people that regulate your emoji. Many of them are men in their 50s and 60s, who are engineers, who have a lot of experience on emoji. And one of them actually even had a shirt that said shadowy emoji overlord. And so this is a process of, discovering how an emoji is passed. It's very ornate and opaque and very confusing. So this is how it goes. So basically you get an idea for an emoji, and then you write a proposal, and then you submit it to the secret emoji subcommittee, and then that they'll kind of have some feedback, and it goes back and forth, and eventually if you have a good proposal, they will pass it on to the full committee. So here are some of the factors for inclusion. So is it popular? Is it frequently requested? Does it have multiple meanings? For example, a feather, which actually does not exist. It could be both a bird feather, but it can also mean light or something breezy. Another very important thing is that it has to be visually distinctive, that one, that you can tell what it is, and then two, that it is distinct from existing emoji. And then another issue is, does it fill a gap for something that currently exists? Bad things, I don't know why this is not moving. So minus factors are, it's too specific, too narrow, it's redundant in that it already covers something that's in Unicode. And these are also strange. So no logos, no brands, no deities, and no celebrities. So those are key. So what happens after an emoji proposal gets passed to Unicode? So one, it goes to the full committee, which is now full of all those people that you saw, and then they vote on it. And after a long time, they vote every 3 months. There's a meeting, and then at the end of a year, they have another big vote, so that you know all the emoji that are going to be coming out in the next year. And then there's like another really long wait, and it has to coordinate with another committee, and then there's more waiting, and then finally it appears on your phone. So that process takes anywhere between 18 to 24 months. So I proposed, and I was like, okay, I can do this. We're going to get a dumpling/empanada emoji pass. So we wrote a dumpling proposal. We also called it a pierogi or empanada proposal. So note how it can be all three. There are many different versions of dumpling, but we chose this one. Not only did we get dumpling, we got chopsticks and takeout box and fortune cookie. So all four of them easy to pass at one time. And in January of 2016, we actually did get our dumplings passed. So yeah. So and that will be on your phone this year. It will be almost 2 years from when Ying and I were texting. So, but I want to make a point here, and this is important for you guys to get behind, especially on this issue of Facebook. So, note, this is the one that was passed by Unicode, right? It looks like a dumpling. It can be a gyosap. It can also be an empanada. It can be a pierogi. So they're starting to come out. So this is Twitter's, also kind of dumpling empanada-like. This one is Google, less empanada-like, but also okay. But this one is Facebook's. Oh no, wait, hold on. So not empanada-like, right? So I think you need to protest to Facebook that they have the wrong kind of dumpling. And I think it's really important for Latin America to be a voice on this. Because I think there was a Facebook designer who loved soup dumplings and decided to go rogue and basically design a dumpling in the version that they like. So I think I just want to say, I think this is wrong. So we all celebrated, and as part of this kind of whole adventure, which I thought was ridiculous, we created an organization called Emoji Nation, whose motto is emoji by the people for the people, to get a much more representative group of people working on emoji so that they are not all white male engineers who are in their 50s and 60s working for US multinational tech companies, right? Just like as a principle, I think that is not so good. So we work on getting good emoji proposals and inclusive emoji proposals. So this gets back to so who can propose emoji? So technically, actually, anyone. You can just email your proposal to docsubmit@unicode.org. So one of the proposals that's been great is a hijab emoji, which was submitted by a 15-year-old girl from Saudi Arabia who lives in Berlin. If you notice on your phone now, you'll have many, many different skin tone emoji. That was actually proposed by a mother from Texas whose daughter wondered why there were no emoji that represented her. Governments can propose emoji. Finland, literally the government of Finland proposed sauna emoji, which are like terrible. I mean, there were naked people emoji. It was so bad. And they have no feet. I mean, it's just like terrible. And they submitted it, and I was like, oh my God, like we need to save you. So we created these versions of emoji. So they have first of all, they're wearing towels, and then they have a sort of a spoon. And they have like smoke behind them. So the other people who can propose emoji are you. So this is our group yesterday. They are working on a mate emoji proposal, which I think is very key. Yeah. So very key. Okay, and this is very key. I just want to say, so we actually got a sort of a basic version of this, which is a terere emoji proposal. And I remember in the meeting, one of the older engineers who is from one of these big multinational tech companies that says, oh, we don't need this because it's like cup and straw. And I was like, whoa. I was like, this is not like cup and straw. I was like, okay, this is one of the reasons why we need diverse people on the committee. So the other thing is, if we actually get the mate emoji done, I think the next ones we can do are choripan, because it also is like a long sandwich. So one of the reasons why this is good is because it's not only a choripan here, but it can be banh mi in Vietnam or a Subway sandwich in America. And then the other thing is sort of a grill, because we've actually been thinking about a barbecue grill. So if you have questions, you can email me. One of the, as actually process of this entire journey, I first of all, got myself onto the emoji subcommittee, and then recently was just announced as one of the vice chairs of the Unicode emoji subcommittee. Yes, so I actually now have some amount of very small power in the very little world of emoji. And if you want to change and make them all much more Latin American friendly, join us. Thank you.